Hello, welcome to Salt and Light Canning. I'm Jessica and this is my kitchen. I'm happy that you're here. Today I am going to be making some juice. I was blessed with some Lingonberries. I think that's how you say it. They're a wild berry that grows in our area. And my friends Dave and Lindsay, thank you so much. They blessed me with a bunch of berries, so I'm going to make juice. A lingonberry is similar to a tart cherry, just small. It tastes similar to a tart cherry, and I think it's going to make really delicious juice. It is good for inflammation and gout. It's also good for any urinary tract infection, similar to cranberries, and similar to tart cherries is good for gout and inflammation and arthritis. So if you are not canning your own juice, maybe look around and see what grows in your area that you might be able to do. My berries are still a little bit frozen because they gave them to me during work this week and I didn't have time to do anything with it. So they're still a little bit frozen. I just washed them up and put them in the freezer. I'm going to do approximately a cup of berries for every quart jar. And we'll see how far we get. Get in there. Just going to go through and fill my quart jars. And then we'll be back when I add sugar. Uh-oh. Man down! The berry trying to escape. All right, so I have my berries in my jars, and now I'm going to add sugar. You can add as much or as little sugar as you want. I've seen people make juice without any sugar at all. I don't personally like juice without any sugar at all, but you decide. It's up to you. It's your kitchen. Typically, you do need a little sugar to keep the color of your fruit. Otherwise it can like turn brown and it's kind of gross. But it's up to you. Do what you feel happy about, what you feel comfortable with. I'm going to put approximately a quarter cup of raw cane sugar in each jar. Maybe a little less. It doesn't take a lot. But these are tart berries. If they were sweeter, I'd probably do less sugar. But it's up to you. Please do how much sugar that you want to do. Personally, I like using a raw sugar. But use what you have. Use what you feel happy and comfortable with feeding your family. All right, got my sugars in my jar. Now I'm gonna grab my boiling water off the stove. Making juice like this is one of the simplest things you can do. It really is just fruit, boiling water, and sugar. I've done this with cranberries, I've done this with grapes. You can go back and watch those videos. So easy. So now I'm just gonna fill to 1 inch of headspace with this hot water. I'm gonna have to boil some more water, so I'm going to debubble the jars that I have full. Just kind of stir it up. Making any kind of juice like this is one of the fastest and easiest canning projects you can do. All right, I have a couple here that are too full, so I'm gonna redistribute some of this liquid. Headspace is important. See if anybody needs a little bit more water. Just a little bit. Now, I always use white vinegar to clean my jars. If you don't, that's okay. Just make sure that you clean the rims of your jars before you put the lids on to help ensure a seal. So if you just use hot water, whatever you use, just make sure that you clean the rims of your jars. So I have my lid on, put my ring on just a fingertip tight. That just looks absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get the rest of my lids on and we'll be back when I'm doing something else. I'm not pressure canning. I am water bath canning in my pressure canner. I tell you guys all the time that you only need one canner, so buy a pressure canner. And I do have a link in my description box to my Amazon storefront. But I have 7 quart jars in my canner. Everything is covered by at least an inch of water. And I have a splash of vinegar. My stove is on. I'm gonna put the lid on. I don't have my gauge in because again, I'm not pressure canning. I'm not gonna put the weight on. I'm just gonna put the lid on and let it come up to temperature. We're gonna bring it up to a boil and then we will process at a boil for 30 minutes. And I'll be back when I'm taking them out of the canner.
A few moments later.
All right. My timer went off and I took the lid off and I've waited a couple minutes and now I'm ready to take my jars out. Whenever you're lifting your jars, make sure you grab by the glass and not by the ring. It's so pink. Juice always looks beautiful when you take it out of the canner. So you notice that the berries have turned a lighter color and the color is bleeding through the jars, and that's perfectly normal. That's what happens with cranberries and grapes too. Now I'm going to let these sit on my shelf for at least a couple of weeks because that'll give the berries time to infuse into the water and make it into juice. So when you're making juice like this, it's more of an infusion than it is like a juice, like a normal kind of juice that you would buy. But they're always delicious. You can add ice, or maybe you want to add this to some of your iced tea, but it's very, very good. And I recommend that you try it. See what kinds of wild berries are growing around you. You might be surprised what's available in your very own backyard that is safe and good for your family to eat. But anyway, such a blessing. Thank you again to Dave and Lindsay. Really appreciate it. Just be so blessed. Know that you're loved and be a blessing to someone else. I'll see you in the next video.